Here's the thing. Every day I'm shuffling. That's what's important to remember.
Are you doing the Cupid shuffle, or what are you? What kind of shuffling?
Just in general, like a hustle and a shuffle and a bustle and a shuffle and a bustle and a hustle and a hustle and a bustle and a shuffle.
Like a 3-card money type thing?
Sure. Kind of like how Three Stooges kind of like prank each other all the time.
Hustling with the shuffling? Yeah.
From time to time.
All right, Rick Ross.
All right, so today we're playing the Elden Ring. I just got to the new DLC.
The Elden Ring.
Yeah, so spoilers. We're about to enter the DLC for Elden Ring. It's called Shadow of the Erdtree.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I had to beat...
Oh my god, oh my god.
my heart. Be still, my beating heart.
Yeah, let's everybody take a big deep breath. All right, James, take us in.
We got to talk to this person first.
All right.
Touch the withered arm and travel to the realm of shadow. That's such high fantasy.
Number 2.
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, sure.
I was watching the thing earlier about fantasy art, and we'll get into that in the episode. But yeah, let's go ahead and
yeah, make it happen, Kevin.
I don't know who this is, but I'm interested to find out because this is a new character.
Robed Knight. All right.
Only 38% of the players beat this boss to get to the DLC. So outside this room are tons of summon signs. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's the kind of nerd stuff I like.
Right. All right, touch the withered arm.
Touch it.
Head to the realm of shadow. It doesn't sound like a good idea, does it?
Touch the boat, man.
He touched it. He touched the butt. I can't believe he touched the butt. What an idiot.
Oh,
This is it, baby.
it's beautiful.
You like it? Yeah.
It's everything I could have hoped for.
So it's called Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm assuming there's a shadowy tree somewhere, and that's our goal this episode is to find the shadowy tree. And this guy
He spotted you.
means business.
What is this vine scorpion that
What
we're
is
looking
this?
at?
You're right. Ow, stop it.
Oh, I hope you get killed in the first 30 seconds.
I'm so
No,
out of practice.
You got this.
Whenever it comes to these kinds of games, you know, they're
Yeah.
called Soulsborne games. I just always thought that was kind of tacky to call them that. So I just say,
This is just a compounding of 2 separate words.
yeah, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
You know,
It's lazy. It
They're
sounds
always saying,
lazy.
they're always saying, wow, it's amazing. They started a whole genre, and I'm like, oh no, this genre is not a new thing. They just kind of perfected it. You know.
Right. All right. Well, before we get down to the business of defeating the Erdtree Huns,
I was about to say, I was like,
Why don't
are they
you-
Hun related? The
maybe
business.
that mystery has yet to unravel.
The business is Hun related. Just
Go ahead and intro the show.
all right. Welcome back to Watson&James Don't Play. My name is James.
I'm still Shadow of the Erdtree Watson. It's a DLC.
It's you.
It's a DLC.
You're the Erdtree.
Yeah.
All this time, you didn't tell me.
Skinny branch-like appendages. You get it.
John Hughes related.
John Hughes adjacent.
Adjacent. Thank you. Not related. You're not relatives. You're just next to him all the time.
Yeah, it's like all the fashion with none of the racist caricatures.
Right. All the fashion with none of the commitment. You know, like, how committed are you to the John Hughes bit? Where's that? I swear, there's supposed to be some kind of ladder around here, right?
Ladder?
I don't know how to see. I've never played the DLC for Elden Ring, so I don't know where anything is yet.
Have you tried pulling yourself up by your bootstraps?
Oh, so that reminds me.
Does it? Ugh.
Yes, it does. I kind of got into it. So at work, we have a lot of boomer customers, right?
Yeah, tell this story. I'm excited to hear what this is about.
Yeah. So we were talking about mom and pop shops that are getting eaten by a local. It's like a St. Louis franchise. Is like they don't have Schnucks anywhere else, right? It's a St. Louis thing.
It's regional.
It's regional. Okay. Schnucks.
But that's the same thing. You know what I mean? The region is outside of St. Louis too, but it's mostly St. Louis based.
Right. Schnucks ate a local grocery store. It was family owned for a number of years. I want to say the grocery store has a meat packing plant nearby still, but the grocery store itself is no longer a thing. They sold it to Schnucks. And
so
he made a comment about how, yep, that's just corporations, you know, eating all these, just destroying these mom and pop businesses. And I said, you vote Republican, don't you?
Like, isn't that exactly
like, isn't that the goal of capitalism, is to consume all around you?
Yeah, you literally are supposed to have record-breaking profits and growth every year.
Yeah.
Every year, without fail.
Yes, there cannot be negative years for too long before someone gets fired.
Not even stagnation.
Or someone gets sold.
You can't even just say, nope, this is a good-sized business. Eventually, you're failing if you're not growing.
You said it was a good size.
That's a nice way of saying small.
Yeah. So I said, well, they should have pulled them up. Honestly, mom and pop should have pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. That's what should have happened.
We'll get off the welfare and get a job.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to work anymore.
And he goes, well, that's not actually capitalism. And I'm like, oh, what is it then?
Sure as hell ain't socialism.
You have a term for that? Because I asked him too. He didn't buy anything that day, by the way.
Oh, shit.
I think I ruined any chance of sales that day.
Hell yeah.
But I knew this guy was a staunch conservative, didn't believe in any vaccines, nothing like that. You know, just by the book, right wing. You know what I mean?
At a certain point, you are free to have more fun conversations with these people because you realize that no hearts or minds are being changed. You can just say what you mean.
Right.
You don't have to play their little BS game about it. You can just call it what it is. Like, you're a conservative, so you believe this. So when I point that out to you, you're not going to have a rebuttal. Because I'm not going to pretend that we don't know exactly what each other's talking about.
He stumbled for a while before he kind of gave up and just kind of... He quietly left the shop.
Yeah, just kind of meandered back into the background.
Yeah, just said, I'll go back to my paid-for house and revel in my successful capitalism.
Yeah.
They did capitalism wrong. That's why they failed. They just didn't do it right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a fun little... I don't get moments like that. I saw an opportunity and I pounced on it.
Well, right. You're not out there to, like, make him vote a different way in November. Like, you know that's not happening. But if you can... Maybe just say what you mean and not pretend. It feels better.
Yeah, I'm not going to change anything about this guy. He's the way he is, and that's that. You know,
that guy was cool looking.
The big knight.
Yeah, I like the big knight.
I don't like the part where he just fucks me up.
Yeah.
No, I'm busy. Let me heal. Oh my God.
I'm still looking for that shadow.
I mean, we're underground now, right? It's all shadows.
Oh.
It's just...
Is that a help or a hindrance?
I can't see any shadows. Have you tried going outside?
Is it a bug or a feature?
Whose game is this? Who paid the $40 for this? I did.
All right. Whose red eye candelabra sword there? What was that?
I don't know. He must work for the Erdtree.
He seems to be in service of the Erdtree.
Just look at him. Shifty.
I like this
shifty Erdtree behavior.
I like this dark vibe. I like the candles. I like the drapes, the stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I give these kinds of games a lot of shit about high fantasy mumbo jumbo. I love high fantasy bullshit.
Yeah.
I live for it, especially dark fantasy.
Like, it makes me want to sit at a synth piano and play the Castlevania theme, you know?
Yeah. I like watching 4 to 5 hour D&D explanation videos explaining stuff no one thought about. Like the cover of, I want to say it's a red advanced D&D book that came out in the early 80s. And this guy picked the cover apart for 3 or 4 hours.
Hell yeah.
And didn't retread nothing. Every 10 minutes was like a new aspect of just the cover of a book.
That's amazing.
And I go, man, what is your life like? I got an hour or two to kind of mess around with this a week.
Right.
Without just destroying my life.
Yeah,
whatever personal life I have just doesn't exist because I got a job too. But this is this guy's job.
This is a hobby. Yeah, this is a hobby of ours that stays within the confines of, like you said, about 2 hours a week.
Yeah.
All said and done, and that's from us thinking about an episode to the episode being on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know.
That's about as far as we take it.
That's about as far as we really care to take it because this thing is supposed to be fun.
I think about growth from time to time, and I go, listen, if big growth is going to happen, it's just going to happen. I'm going to keep doing what I do. You know?
I would never want to lock myself into something I don't want to do with this. I don't want to ruin this.
Right.
In any way by making it any type of work. So this is how it's going to be.
Yeah, I watch tutorial videos on like how to install a backsplash. I haven't watched a single video on how to make a YouTube channel. I figure I record a video, I have a good time doing it, and I'll leave it at that.
I'm just hanging out with my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hey, by the way,
I knew enough about audio and video to plug some microphones in. That's about it.
Can we, though, take a minute to talk about picking apart covers, high fantasy bullshit, and
bullshit,
and stuff I would absolutely watch a 5-hour video about?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's all the same thing. Are you ready? We're going to talk about this.
I am. Yeah, I'm intrigued now.
King Crimson's first album, In the Court of the Crimson King.
You sent me this the other day. It's from the 60s, right?
It's fucking amazing.
It's something.
It's one of it's one of the most amazing progressive rock albums ever made. And yeah, it is from, I believe, the late 60s, like 69.
It is. I'll give you that because I listened to a good portion of it because you sent me a good portion of it. And I'm not a busy guy. I just said I don't have time to do this every day. That's not entirely true. But, you know.
If I send you the link, you'll open it.
I'll open it, yeah. And I listened to it for a good while and I go, man, this is like Beefheart. You know, I don't think I got this in me. It's not as bad as Beefheart. Beefheart's borderline insane.
It's not listening.
This was music.
It's not listening to the album. Yeah, because listening to the album is relatively, like, fun.
Yeah.
But it's when you open their discography and you go, oh, so they've put out, like, 45 albums.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, yeah, now it feels like Beefheart. Now I feel like I gotta catch up to this.
Catching up, huh? What does that mean?
That's all I'm doing.
That's all I'm doing.
So, yeah, I highly recommend starting within the Court of the Crimson King, as long as you have, like, a solid foundation of, you know, Yes and other bands like that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't go that far because Yes is pretty... All right, Yes and Rush are...
They're accessible.
They're accessible, yeah. This stuff, I don't know, man. We're pretty weird, you know?
21st Century Schizoid Man was a hit.
On what chart?
Fucking Kanye sampled it.
Okay, all right.
And
so
it was
then.
And it was a hit at the time. The band and the album are both highly, highly influential, if nothing else.
Is this band something you find progressive?
I-
At the time.
I do understand that, yes, by very nature of what we're talking about, this is coming across. It's very esoteric.
And pretentious.
And
it's almost pretentious. It is pretentious.
I smell rectum. I get it. I understand. We are firmly implanted in our own colons right now.
What's this one with the face?
Oh, that? Oh, no. You're not ready to step into the court of the Crimson King. This stage in your training, album like that could turn you into an evil scientist.
Where is that goddamned Erdtree?
Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming we're just in its shadow. You know? Like, the Erdtree is an idea.
Like where Scar from Lion King lives?
Yeah.
It's all the Shadowlands.
I noticed that in the DLC they disabled the jump button. You got to do this little funny little number with the left stick now. The A button doesn't work anymore. I swear they make these games harder on purpose.
I believe in
we're going to take features away.
I believe in modern dance it's called a pas de bourrée. But I could be wrong.
They were say cabaret, and I'm like, Eddie Redmayne got a lot of that these days, and it's fucking weird. I know it's meant to be weird. I get it. I know what cabaret is. All right, I am a theater kid. But it's too much.
I'm more of a Jonathan Groff guy.
They're gonna say I'm more of a Harry Potter guy than an Eddie Redmayne guy.
Well, speaking of which, did you see Jonathan Groff crying as Daniel Radcliffe got the Tony? Oh, it was so good.
What do you get a Tony for?
Well, he just
not being part of J.K. Rowling's crew anymore. Like, you know what?
Basically,
you get an honorary Tony for just not sucking. For choosing not to suck, because he could have easily chosen to suck.
He could have sucked. No one would have faulted him. They would have understood. They would have been bummed that he sucked, but they would have understood.
You know
that trajectory. What's really cool is that in the past couple of years, I've seen more and more people say the same thing. I love Daniel Radcliffe, and Harry Potter's not even really the first thing I think of when I think of him anymore, because he's just doing awesome shit.
I think of a couple things, including Harry Potter. So we'll just assume Harry Potter's the first thing I think of.
Well, sure.
Because I'm a big fan.
And I'm not saying that's not true for most people, but I'm saying people who follow any type of his career, you know what I mean, people who've been following Daniel Radcliffe at all, do see him as much more of a versatile actor.
Yeah. I think of Weird Al more than anything, including Harry Potter. But like
God,
after Harry Potter, I think of...
God, he nailed that.
He did. Oh, it's so good.
They're having so
good.
much fun. It really embodies that kind of fun.
When he goes to the party to like introduce himself, where there's Wolfman Jack is there, that actor you like that's in all that stuff.
David Dastmalchian.
Thank you. I just knew you'd know who I was talking about.
He's from Queen.
So he's also from that new movie where he plays a late night host to
Late Night with the Devil.
Eats a kid, I think. He eats the kid.
Look, it's a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Get it? Because it's 70s TV fuzzy.
Yeah. No, the devil eats the kid. He eats the devil. Okay, it's all coming together.
Spoilers.
So the show that he's in is actually called Has Been Hotel. That's the show I'm talking about.
Which I've heard nothing but bad things about the fan base, so the show's probably pretty good.
Wait, Have you heard bad things about the fan base of Has Been Hotel?
Almost exclusively.
Really?
Apparently, a lot of them like to do blackface at conventions.
News to me.
Yeah, well, don't put up the pictures.
I'm definitely not going to tell anybody I watched the whole series today.
Like I said, the show's probably great.
Who would do that? Who would watch an entire series in one day? Me. I would do that.
You know who has a really chill fan base? Venture Brothers. Just
Again,
watch
I
that.
can't-
Just watch that again.
Again, I can't tell if you're lying or not.
No, they're super chill. They
Are
are.
they?
They actually are. They
So many fan bases suck.
they trade merchandise and stuff back and forth. They're the only fans that if you post stuff on their message boards that is incorrect, they will correct you, but also make you feel like you're not an idiot.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one of those things that is so deeply nerdy, but also at the same time it's like a community of metalheads or something like that. They're actually some of the nicest people, you know.
Okay. I'm good with that.
I highly recommend the Venture Brothers fan base.
It's kind of like what they say about hippies not being cool, metalheads being cool.
I was going to say, what do they say about hippies? Because they suck.
Yeah, they don't say good things about hippies. I know a couple hippies, and I just want to hit them. You know,
The bad kind of hippies.
like you're making me not like you, dog.
Be as free and natural as you want, but just don't be a douchebag about it. Right?
Yeah. So we're talking about boomers, is who we're talking
The
about.
boomer
really.
generation of hippies.
Yeah.
Yeah, not super great.
No. So I've been playing Elden Ring all day. I was trying to get to the DLC point because they recommend you be like, not really sure where to go now.
Yeah, I don't know. We're
Kinda
above ground
lost.
again.
Yeah. I think I see. So a bridge got let down. I need to get to where the bridge is. I'm just not entirely sure how to get to that bridge.
Is it possible for you to take us to a place to kill a guy?
Yeah.
I want to see us kill a guy.
Okay. We've killed guys.
No, I want like a guy, like a big guy.
A big guy. We just killed a big guy. We just killed a boss.
All right, we'll find the biggest boss you think you can take in the next 15 minutes. Do it. Gun to your head. Which fucking boss?
Call the police.
Let's recreate the
Use some of
movie
those.
Tusk. You can be Justin Long.
They put him in the zoo. I can't believe it. They just put him. They didn't. They took a person.
It was like a preserve. It wasn't even a zoo. It was like one of those sad big cat shows you see on the side of the highway where it's just super sad.
It's just. I'm like, that's the solution. They go. He's a walrus now.
Concrete blocks and a bucket of fish heads. That's what he gets.
We didn't make him a walrus, but that's who he is now.
This is the best we got for him because let's face it, if he goes down to the local aquarium, he's going to terrify the children.
Or the walruses are going to beat him up.
Or the walruses are going to eat him, or he's going to develop an unnatural attachment to one of the walruses. Either way, there's no good outcome for him there.
And you think to yourself, why would the walruses eat him? Well, because he's a guy.
God, I hope at different points you're just flashing Justin's face.
So I'm a Mac, right? And a walrus.
And I'm a PC.
At any point, did they ever consider, like, you know how they have operating system names for Apple? Is that a thing you're aware of?
I don't give a fuck.
So they're named after animals. I always wanted a walrus.
I have so much contempt for Steve Jobs as a person.
Sure. Along with his products, I assume.
His products are inferior. His philosophy was bad. His company strategy is terrible for both the consumers and the environment.
Sure.
And I do not support his bullshit.
All right. I get that. It's completely fair. I respect it entirely.
Also, I like being in control of my own stuff, and Android lets me do that.
Yeah, you can't really jailbreak an iPhone, can you?
Not in a worthwhile way that would suit my needs.
Sure. I always go back to Frylock whenever he gets a new phone, and he goes, it's got, 100 gigs of storage. It's got a 37 megapixel camera. And, it works for what I need.
And I'm
Which
over
is-
here, like, scrolling TikTok, like, roll that beautiful bean footage.
He goes, it works for what I needed, which is, really nothing. Oh, all right, guess I died.
And then we die. We just do that until we die. They call it doom scrolling. And it's the latest thing.
Don't look at that thing in the bottom left corner. That wasn't there. It's blurred out anyway. At least now it has to be. Because this is Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree.
God,
This is it. This is the DLC.
It's good-looking DLC.
It looks better than I expected.
It's clearly better.
Whenever I downloaded the...
Those chandeliers are great. This game's got a great chandelier game.
when I downloaded the...
I've seen a few now. I just haven't commented on them. Great candelabras, great chandeliers.
when you download the file for the DLC, it's only 16 gigs.
Love a good sconce.
Sconces you can do a lot with. They're
You could do a lot.
versatile.
Yeah, I've got a couple in my Animal Crossing game even.
Like you get a bad sconce, just tear it off the wall and make something else. Melt
Yeah.
it down.
That's what
Make
the Mighty
something else
Monarch
into
did.
it.
You remember when he freaked out in his new apartment?
Which one?
Or sorry, his new house?
Who are you talking about?
In season 6 or 7 of the Venture Brothers, when the Monarch finally finishes renovating his house,
Uh-huh.
and he gets mad about spending $1,200 on an individual sconce, and he just pulls it off the wall, and Dr. Girlfriend's like, well, you don't have to pull it off the wall.
No, you do. Yank that sumbitch
He's
down.
like, I can't believe I wasted so much money, and he's just like tearing stuff off the walls. Oh, he blew his trust fund on that stupid house.
That's always my philosophy whenever it comes to like home remodels is I just got to rip something off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, now I got to do it. I can't leave it like this. I refuse to leave it like this.
Yeah.
It's been fairly effective. And then when I, get in over my head, which I'm wont to do, I turn to this old house and I go,
Yeah.
Norm, get away from me, you creep.
What would Norm do?
What would Norm do? And Norm's usually has some pretty good answers, luckily.
Yeah. My dad has those vibes. He has the Norm vibes. When
Like,
it
he
comes
just
to,
knows-
when it comes to home repair and stuff, he's very like, all right, this is what it is. This is what you're going to need to fix it. And this is how you do that.
Like, how do you know that? How do you know that?
And he grew up in a time before YouTube tutorials and stuff. So, yeah, he has built his own house. He has helped other people build their own house. And they just, between them all, know how to build a house.
Yeah.
And that is so impressive to me. And I have picked up a little bit of it by association from helping him with
Yeah,
some
it
of those
just kinda
projects.
sticks with you a little bit.
And now that he's older, I'm basically his, avatar for going to fix things as he explains them to me because I can do them.
This is Watson, my large blue alien child.
Basically, that's what it is. He just
So-
pilots me around by command, like, all right, do this now. Don't do that.
Notice how he's 7 feet tall and blue. Isn't that amazing? I made that.
So there is hope. One day you do graduate from holding the flashlight and holding the ladder to actually being on the roof.
That or a parent dies, and that's how you graduate.
I'm honestly, part of the reason that I do it is because, yeah, what if something happens to him, who would then repair my mom's house?
Yeah,
You know?
for sure.
I
Good
don't know.
point.
I think by that point she'd probably buy a condo or something.
Like, I gotta get out of here. I
She'd
can't-
like downsize a little bit to something more manageable.
Yeah. I don't know if I could live in a house where like a partner died.
That too. Sure.
It'd be crazy. Be like, this is a monument to sorrow,
Well, and I
and
think
I have to
about
get out of here immediately.
yeah, I think about all the stuff my dad's done to that house and the time that they've been there. Like he's slowly but surely basically remodeled every room.
Hmm.
So yeah, how could she not walk through it and think about all that? You know.
I think they made a mistake. So the bottom left corner of the screen, as you see, it doesn't say Shadow of the Erdtree DLC or something along those lines. I think the game's bugged.
So are we just piling?
Again, the game was just the thing just came out today.
Are we just piling sour news on sour news because we took a morbid turn there, and now you're giving me more bad news? Like, what is this episode?
It's these games, man. They make me feel like shit.
Yeah, it's like kind of tainting us
I live for it. I
In
don't
a-
know what that
in a
means.
very Erdtree kind of way.
It's the same reason I watch horror. I love tension.
Mm-hmm.
I love pain when I'm watching a movie. Love Hellraiser for that reason.
Hellraiser, sure. Springs
It's,
to mind immediately.
I don't make a lot of new friends because when I meet them,
You're like, hey,
Thanks.
you want to watch Phantasm?
more so like, hey, want to solve this puzzle? You like puzzles, right?
You brought this on yourself.
Right. You're asking for it.
Brought what on myself? And then, boom. Yeah. Fantastic.
Subsequently, they solve the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I introduce them to mountains of torment and sights that they never knew they could see. And
Yeah.
then eventually they escape, and I go, shit.
Look, hey, if
gotta
you're
figure out how to make
down,
friends.
me and my friends want to tear your soul apart.
That's it.
Are you down?
And I just want to show you stuff.
Over the course of like 2 hours, I have a lot of things to show you, and spoiler alert, some of them made Jesus weep.
Man, that scene was awesome.
That's so good.
He turns his head to the side, and I go, this feels like it was kind of shoehorned into the movie, but it sure was fucking cool.
What is your favorite line from a Hellraiser movie? Let's end on something good.
Oh, that's the one.
We got a few minutes here. That's yours?
Yeah,
that's your pick?
That's definitely the one. Is Jesus wept? It's so cool.
It's iconic. Beautiful choice. A little basic bitch, but whatever. That's fine.
I took a
Mine
wrong turn at Albuquerque, son of a bitch.
mine is just keep going. It's fine.
It's fine. It's none of this matters.
It don't matter, Frylock.
I'm gonna figure out the DLC off screen, and maybe it'll work then.
Maybe it'll work then. We'll see. I think mine is from the second movie. When the doctor gets transformed and he's like,
And to think
That's pretty good. I wish I would have thought of that one.
That's
That's
good-
fucking cool.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one. I like it.
Oh, the labyrinth hell with the obelisk and stuff. Oh, that was a cool, like, kind of new vision of hell for me. Like, you see a lot of the fire, brimstone, lakes of lava stuff,
Yeah, that's what we were sold as a kid. The
Yeah,
Lake of
but-
Fire.
which isn't in the Bible.
Not in there.
Sorry. Spoiler alert.
Satan, not in there.
Nope. So you wait. You're telling me that the talking snake part was literal, but loving your neighbor and feeding people was a metaphor?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
No, don't do it. All right. Don't pay your taxes either. I mean that part.
Become ungovernable.
If you wanna talk about what's in there, that part's in there. It straight up tells you don't pay your taxes. It being Jesus.
One of my favorite rom-coms is Stranger Than Fiction, and one of the characters is in tax trouble in that movie. And the reason she's in tax trouble is because she refuses to pay the percentage of her taxes that goes towards military spending. On
And you
principle,
can't-
she's
you
like,
can't
I just
decide to do that either.
She's like, yeah, I know how much I owe, and I deducted this amount because this amount would go towards bombs.
Sure.
So fuck you, I'm not spending bomb money. And of course the IRS is like, the tax doesn't work like that.
Watson's real serious. That was the pounding you just heard.
And
Let's
I'm-
make a fucking point here.
And I'm like, here's the other side of that point. We are the only developed world in which we have to guess what we owe, and if we're wrong, there are steep penalties.
And they know what we owe. They know. Before we
Every-
even do it, they know, and they go, figure it out, loser.
Every other developed nation in the world just sends their citizens paperwork and a check. That's it.
I loved whenever the IRS finally said,
God,
hey,
get it together.
We're going to have a free thing that's going to help you do your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And TurboTax freaked out. They're like, no, we pay good money to convince these people
That they need help.
that it cannot be done, that they are too stupid to figure this out.
You know what? I think we should make taxes more complicated.
Right. And maybe sometimes that's right. I lived in 3 states in 1 year, and I went to a tax guy that time.
Sure.
Because I go, all right, I got some stuff to deal with. But he didn't do anything special. He still just used a program. It's not like he had prior knowledge
He's
of...
just back there with QuickBooks.
Right. It's not like he had prior knowledge of the tax code in Arizona and South Carolina.
Hey, bro, let me share your Intuit login.
It was still... Right. It was still just a program that he used.
Yeah. Oh, God, I hate it.
After I paid him to do it, I go, I should have just done
I
this.
hate it. Read books,
I should have just thought for more than 30 seconds and done it myself.
hang out with your friends, and try not to be a dickhead. Like, that's all. That's all there is.
Pretty
Yeah.
good advice, really. Solid advice. It'll get you far in life.
I don't know how else to to give anyone advice. Like, just try to do that.
Like
I guess.
I know a guy that recently lost his job for one reason and one reason only.
Mhm.
He was kind of an asshole.
He's kind of an asshole.
That's all it was. It's not the work that he did. The work was fine, from what I understand.
No, file marked did not play well with others.
That's it.
Consistently.
Was Dick.
Was a bit of an asshole.
It's a bullet point. And it's like, was Dick? You mean like he recently transformed from Dick to human? No. Is Dick.
Yeah.
Currently is Dick. Don't let his humanity, his human appearance confuse you. He is a penis.
Well, and it just says at the bottom, see attached images, and it's printed out Google reviews calling him out by name as bad. Like, I can't really argue with the data, my guy.
That reminds me of a bit of a spoiler from The Boys season 4. Is that it's not really a spoiler, but it is a thing that happens in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Butcher sends an email, and it says, I got those files you were looking for. And she's all excited, and then she opens the files, and it's just a dick.
It's just a dick.
Is it his dick? It's not explained.
It's not
Really important. It's that the files are not in there.
Which
It
way
is
is-
just dick.
Which way is funnier to you? Dick or no dick? You decide. Choose your own dick adventure.
This is Arbalest.
We chose the wrong adventure. I didn't get anything out of this DLC.
I didn't find the tree. There's vines around.
Yeah.
Like, so, all right, I have an idea. I have an idea what the DLC is. So this is some kind of like cathedral, right?
Mm-hmm.
See all the vines and shit?
I do.
That's the Erdtree.
Oh, they together form what would be known as an Erdtree.
Yeah, and they're kind of eating this cathedral. So now the cathedral is in the shadow of the Erdtree.
You know what, Cathedral? Do better. Be better. I want more for you.
Cracked the code. No need to play the DLC.
2 out of 10.
It sucks.